Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sonnet with Sonnet's Garden Blooms, and I want to thank you all for stopping by. Now in today's video, we are starting the prep for Cranberryfest. So moving forward, you're gonna see videos like this scattered in amongst all my other videos. One of the new things I want to bring up to Cranberryfest are some signs, and this was the perfect opportunity. So in our backyard, we have a fence that's been needing to be replaced, and we were intending to do it like right when COVID happened. So the cost of lumber unfortunately skyrocketed. First, we couldn't get the supplies because they were doing yard projects, and then when the supplies were there, the cost had like almost tripled. It was just crazy. So when our neighbors came to us and said they were going to actually put up a fence in their yard and they wanted to take care of the long portion of our yard as well, we were like, go for it. Yes. So I do not want to get rid of these fence sections. I definitely want to reuse them and repurpose them. So I thought I'm gonna take as many of these boards, and we are gonna try to convert them into the signs that I'm going to make today. So when I was in Door County with my girlfriends this spring, when we had our girls' weekend, we stopped at the shop, and this is where this inspiration came from. They actually had this set of 4 signs, and they were $369, which I almost died. I was like, $369 for, I mean, I understand there's time that goes into it, but it seemed a bit much. And so today we are going to take 4 boards that my husband wanted to put on the curb, and we are going to try to convert them into signs that I'm going to be selling at Cranberryfest. So come along and we'll see how this turns out. So here's our fence, and you can obviously see it has seen better days. It is definitely falling apart. We've had it in the yard over 20 years. So we definitely got the life out of it. The cross boards are really what are rotten, not the actual boards that are the fencing. So I am going to repurpose those today. I start off, initially I thought I could just pull them off with the back end of the hammer, and that did not work that great. It actually broke some of the boards off. So in the end, what I did is I tipped it the other way and I just knocked them off, and they came off extremely easy. So here they are, and you can see that they are looking a little rough. They just need to be cleaned up. So for starters, we're gonna take out any of the old nails. And how I do this is I flip them all nail side up, and I take my hammer and I start hammering the nails out. And then after they all are out like that, then what I do is I flip the boards over and just use the back end of the hammer, and they pull out extremely easy. Now, one thing to note, if you're doing this in the driveway like I am, you'll want to make sure that none of them fall in the driveway because you don't want to run over a nail. So I do have a container that I am putting those all into to prevent any nails from getting into any tires from this project. Now, here they all are, ready for the next step. Initially, I thought about just leaving them and doing like a painting distressing technique, but I want the paint to adhere as best as it can, and sanding is the way to do this. So I am going to completely sand both sides of these boards, and they're not perfect. I just want to get off, like you saw some like green stuff growing on it. So I don't want them to be perfect because I still want them to look old and distressed. I just want to have off anything that's like would prevent the paint from adhering. So now I am going to start painting these. I'm laying out the colors, and I did Liquid Sunshine, White Swan, Marquee, and Prairie Gray. And I thought those were some perfect colors to use for this project. So when I'm painting these, I am more or less doing real light brush strokes on here, like a dry brushing. I don't want it to be full coverage because in the end, what I'm going to do is go back with my sander and I'm still going to sand some of that off. I'm going to distress it. I really want these to look like they've been out in the elements for years and years. And that is how I want these signs to appear. The actual boards were outside for years and years, but the actual paint, the painting technique that I'm doing, I want that to look like it's been out on a sign and it's real weathered. And so that's why I'm doing this dry brushing technique. And after each of the signs are fully painted, I'm going to let them dry really well, and then we're going to sand them. And I do that with all 4 colors that I'm choosing. So the yellow was Liquid Sunshine. Now we're doing White Swan. And then the third color we're going to be doing is Prairie Gray. And many of you might think like, why Prairie Gray? But it just reminded me of some of the old cabins that are in northern Wisconsin. They have that old like brownish hue to it. And I just thought that would be a good color for one of the signs. So for the 4th sign, we're using Marquee, and I love this. It just reminds me of being up north. I think all these colors together really do. So when I create these additional signs in the future, I'm going to use some other really bright colors. I think one of them will be like Bohemian Blue. I'll probably do like a green, like aviary, just a bunch of real fun colors. That way, if whoever is buying these signs, they can like stack them and put them out on a post however they want. So don't you just love all these colors together? I absolutely love them. I think what's missing here may be like a blue one, but again, we're just experimenting. So now that I've gone back and I sanded them a little bit more with my hand sander, we are going to take Big Top and we are gonna clear coat them to make sure that the DIY paint is sealed and cannot be reactivated. From here, I'm going to let them dry, and then we're going to come back and we are going to use the typesetting stamp from IOD, and we are going to make custom signs that I think will be perfect. So here they are, all clear coated, and the yellow, you guys, I really love it when a piece of wood has that distressed look and you can see all the grain of the wood come out. I think these are turning out great and I cannot wait for the next step. So here I'm taking out the typesetting stamp set by IOD, and I love this set, and I know I say it multiple times, but it comes with all capital letters, all lowercase, and numbers. And I think that they just work great and so many possibilities. So what I do initially is I lay out how I want my stamps on the board, and then I pick up the ones, the individual stamps that I'm going to ink up, and then I'm going to put that on. And the key here, I line it up and then I go for it. I just, drop it right where I need it, and I hold it in place so it does not move or smear. And I just take my fingers and I rub over each of the letters to get a good clean image. Then I lift up and I wipe off my stamps right away. You just don't want that ink to dry. The next color that I'm using is white, and I just want to make sure that it's completely clean before I use a different color. So I just work my way down and I realign where the eye should be, and then I pick up the next set and then I do that again. And I just re-ink it and lay it all out. Before you pick up the stamps, you just want to make sure that they all are spaced out evenly. and then again, just pick it up like that, lay it down, and then re-ink, and then do the same exact thing. I just love all these different scenes, and depending on where you're located, I'm sure there are different different sayings or terms. But up north, we have like ice fishing and snowmobiling, and I did put campwood, but then I was like, maybe I should have said firewood, because that's really what we call it. I was trying to just like, I Googled like, terms for up north Wisconsin, and I just jotted a bunch of them down, and that is what I stamped on here. So I have a bunch more, and what I'm going to do, like I said, there's just a couple things that I'm going to finesse with these, but I think these are turning out amazing. So now I'm going to use white ink on the darker colors, so on the red and on that prairie gray. And anytime, you just always want to make sure that your ink pad is fully inked. And I always just try to add a little bit of ink on there just to make sure I get really good coverage, especially since it's been a little bit since I've used the white ink. And but it's very easy. I just take it and rub it, and then I take the tip of the actual container and I just rub it all in, and it absorbs really nicely. And this is mixing white. So many of you may not know, but you can stamp with the mixing white. You can also take mixing white and create your own custom colors. So I'm taking a pencil and putting it in the spot where I want the C to start. And again, I'm doing the exact same thing that I did with the black, and I am loving how this is turning out. But I also, with the white, I noticed that it's a little bit harder to get the ink off. So I would highly recommend wiping that off immediately. With the black, I can still get it off if I, wait a little bit, but with the white, I definitely would recommend doing it right away. So I'm just doing that last O, and everything turned out great. Now we're on to the bait shop, and if you've ever been in Wisconsin, you will find that there's always a bait shop on almost every corner. So I had to create a bait shop sign for my custom signs that I think I might use up at my own cabin. So again, do the exact same thing, and I am loving how the white really pops off of the marquee red. So what do you guys think so far? Are you liking how the project is turning out? I hope that you guys, I took you along and you were able to see my vision. Again, I think the couple things that I'm going to change up a bit are I might do some more distressing to the wood, and the actual boards on the bottom were really, really like weathered and wore, and I would like to do that on each end as well. I just have to figure out how to do it or make the technique happen, because when I cut my boards, it's going to be totally clean cut on one side and real rugged on the other. So I'm going to try to play around with this and see if I can get both sides to look a little weathered and worn as well. But again, I love how this all turned out, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. So what do you guys all think? I know you don't know what my vision was, but I hope that I brought you through the process. I'm loving it. There's a few things that I'm going to be changing, but I absolutely love how these turned out. and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. If this is the type of content that you do like, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications. That way every Monday and Friday you'll be notified when I do release a video. And go ahead, follow me on my other socials. I'll have them linked here and in the description. That way you can get so much more content from me as well. All right, well, we will see you guys Friday, and I think I might be starting to do possibly some fall or prepping for, I don't know yet, maybe some thrift flips, but we will see you guys Friday. Have a great week. Bye.